What are we reacting to today? Honestly, I don't. I actually don't really even know. It's fanfic reading. It's like a small kind of one-off audio drama. I don't even know the name. I have no idea what I'm getting into. Please help me. Let's get it on. That was quality. What? Why is this Disney? Why is this magical Disney? Oh gosh. Let me check hold on, let me check the quality. Wait, it's only up to 360p? Wait, what? Okay, that is very interesting.
Raining again. April showers, as it were.
April.
To rain a lot these days.
The best month.
Big Macintosh minded at all. The rain better suited his mood. There was a calming effect to the steady cadence of it on the roof, the way it fell on the already sodden grounds.
Rain do be pretty good.
Sitting on the front porch while the storm circulated around the farm.
Go inside.
The cold felt good too. It reminded him that he could feel something other than pain.
Ooh.
It had been a year already, and still there was a dull ache in his heart, a wound to his spirit.
Did Sugar Bell die?
It hurt every day like it had in the beginning. The door of the house opened and Applejack came out.
Parents?
She had a blanket between her teeth that she draped around Big Macintosh's withers.
Aww.
Then she took up a seat beside him, and they sat together in silence. She sat with him like this a lot in the past year. They spoke less to each other than they had their entire lives.
Oh no.
And somehow they'd grown closer. He knew that without the support of his sisters, he wouldn't have made it. Everything
I almost don't want to talk during this.
Would have consumed him long ago.
Oh gosh.
Big Mac, I think it's about time we had to talk.
Don't want to.
You gotta, man. You gotta talk.
Remember asking if you wanted to or not.
Not now, AJ.
He must have said it forcefully enough because she didn't press the issue anymore for a few minutes. Lightning flashed overhead, giving the gloomy day a quick illusion of luminance. Inside, there came a peal of filly laughter.
Ghost child?
Applejack
Apple
turned her head to glance in through the window. There was a smile on her face when she turned back around. It faded when she looked at her brother. He turned away, reaching up to swipe at moisture on his face. That definitely wasn't rainwater.
Talk to me, brother. Can't help unless I know what you're thinking.
Oh, I'm feeling this. Oh.
I'm thinking what I'm always thinking. That it hurts. That I could have stopped it from happening. That I should have said what I was feeling.
I think it's the death of the parents. Or Sugar Bell. It's gotta be one of those two.
Can't blame yourself for any of it, Big Macintosh. It ain't your fault.
It's never your fault.
We've let you have your time. Watched you just mope around, and I ain't saying being sad ain't okay. You've got plenty of right and reason to be sad. But you've forgotten us, your family. We're still here. We still love you, and
come on, open up.
You to be a part of our lives. But what you've been doing this past year ain't living, big brother. It's just surviving.
He opened his mouth to retort, but nothing came
out.
And he shook his head. He had only been just surviving. It was all he could do. Every morning had him rising to face the day, feeling like he...
That line is so true. You're not living, you're just surviving. That... I know I've heard that line somewhere before. I don't remember where. But that line is just so genius. It has so many layers to it. I swear. This is so sad.
He was missing half of himself. How did anyone just pick up the pieces and move on from that? Placing the hoof over ears, Applejack spoke softly.
How can we help if you don't talk to us?
Gotta talk.
Don't know. I just don't know.
It's a long silence. Slow guitar. Past. It's gotta be the parents then. It's gotta be the parents.
The ground was saturated and sodden from the excessive amount of
Hey,
rain
it's Fluttershy.
that year. There were
Hey.
small hoof prints in the mud, leaving a trail where Apple Bloom and the rest of the girls had run off together to go play. Beautiful flowers of purple and white grew out of the middle of a rain puddle, defiant against the odds of drowning instead of living. Fluttershy sighed softly in the crisp spring morning air. It was going to be a lovely day once the sun
Heck yeah, man.
and
Happy
there was so much
Tins.
to be done. After a week of straight rain, she would have so many animal homes to check on. Rebuilding
Yeah.
some would be inevitable, as would helping to gather food and then restocking her own supplies.
Happy Tins, man.
The screen door opened behind her, and she was joined by Applejack.
They're literally sparkling.
Rainbow cold off that storm. Wonder how much damage it actually did to the crops.
They looked fine to me. Oh,
Why are you sparkling, by the way?
I was up early with the girls, and we all took a walk around the farm. Apple Bloom was worried too.
I love the peaceful feel
Of
of
course
this
I don't
fic.
mind Fluttershy. I'm glad she's already thinking about stuff like that. And besides, you're part of the family now. This here's your land
It's like
too.
atmospheric. That's a better word to describe it. It's atmospheric.
Morning.
Big Macintosh sidled out onto the porch as well, his
Sup?
orange mane disheveled and his eyes just barely open. Fluttershy giggled and moved over to nuzzle against him. He dipped his head.
Oh, wait, Flutterback? Oh my god, it's Fluttermack? You're going Fluttermack? Okay. There's been one instance where I've seen this before, and that was Windfall. That fic, I swear, was so boring, and I never finished it, and I need to probably finish it someday. Fluttermack? I'm sorry. I don't see these ships very often.
Did you get any sleep last night?
She nodded, leaning her head against him.
So Fluttershy is the one who died.
Such a dreadful nightmare.
I reckon I should have gone in, but I couldn't make myself get up.
It's alright, Big Mac. I really didn't mind getting up. She went with the others to the clubhouse this morning, though, so it seems like she's alright.
Imagine if Fluttershy wasn't the one who died. What if they did a
Applejack's
plot
greeting
twist?
pulled the couple's attention from one another to the gray Pegasus trotting up the walk.
Hey, Derby.
Apple family.
Hi,
The
Derby.
knapsacks sure are full. What you got for us?
Not you, Big Apple. Fluttershy.
She pulled a
Ooh.
letter from her saddlebags and passed it to Fluttershy.
You're going to
Fluttershy
college.
blinked and tore open the letter, carefully unfolding it.
You've
Big
been
Macintosh
accepted.
over her shoulder.
Oh my.
She turned to look at Big Macintosh, watching his face as he finished the letter. He registered surprise and met her gaze.
What in the hay is it?
College.
It's a letter from the mayor of Hoofington. It seems they
What?
had an infestation of buzzing buzzards. Somehow
Huh?
they found out about my gifts with animals, and they want me to help them.
Oh, okay.
Derpy took off in a flurry of
That
words.
doesn't sound too bad.
Applejack nodded, impressed.
I ain't ever been to Hoofington before. You gonna go?
Sure, let's go.
Yellow
Let's go on an
Pegasus
adventure.
reread her letter, shrugging. She finally looked at Big Macintosh again.
We're off to see the wizard.
He tilted his head to the side in a nonchalant gesture.
It's up to you,
Sure.
darling. You think you can help? You want to go? Who am I to stop you?
She
Heck
gave
yeah,
him
man.
a small smile.
Heck yeah, brother.
My husband?
Husband.
With a grin,
Okay.
Big Macintosh kissed her muzzle.
I think you want to go.
I do? I mean, yes.
I do.
Most part of me does. Those poor buzzards. There must be something going on. I can't imagine why they take over a town like that unless something was terribly, terribly wrong. I've
Panic.
never been that far away from Ponyville.
That's why you take some pony with you?
Fluttershy looked at Applejack.
Take Big Mac
What
then.
would I take?
Big
I'm so busy right now.
Mac.
I would probably go. Especially if you pointed out that there's a library down there that she's never seen. Something tells me that if you
Classic
mention
Twilight.
it, she'll have her saddlebags packed quicker than the clown running from an angry bull at a rodeo.
She would probably just teleport there immediately.
There was
Swiftly, Swiftwind.
doubt in her eyes, but they all knew she couldn't pass up the opportunity of helping anyone with an animal problem, even if it was so far away.
I should go talk to Twilight, and then I'll come back
Yeah.
and pack.
Yeah, go
Stop
go
by the
talk to
clubhouse on
Twilight.
the way back.
Oh, of course I will.
Taking a deep breath, Fluttershy squared her withers and headed down the path that would lead from the farm and into Ponyville proper. The siblings watched her go, and as soon as she was out of earshot, Applejack turned a critical eye on her brother.
Out with it.
I would also like to say that Leonov, aka Leo, I like to call him Leo because I can never pronounce his first name. He fits so well for this reading, like combined with the atmospheric feel and the kind of so far peaceful nature beside the sadness at the beginning. His voice is like so perfect for this role. Like it's so perfect.
He blinked slowly.
Out with what?
I saw that look. You don't want her to go. That's obvious. What's the matter?
Bro,
Can't
come on, Big
handle us
Mac.
crazy girls without her here to keep your head on straight.
Come on.
Nope. Done it before. Pretty sure I can do it again.
Can't stand the thought of her being gone for a few days, huh? Y'all have been together long enough. I thought that would have worn off by now.
Yeah, how long you guys been together?
I'll miss her, but I'll survive.
Then what?
He was silent for a long moment, staring at the place Fluttershy slipped from their sight.
Then Happy
His
Tim's.
admission was reluctant.
I don't know. Something about this don't feel right.
When Applejack just
Uh-oh.
looked at him,
That's
he
not good.
I'm also working on only a few hours of sleep.
You should tell her.
He looked at his sister,
Tell her what-
trying to figure out if
what?
she was just trying to brush him off. Or
They're
if she
married
thought he
already.
was serious.
Tell her what?
Nothing to tell.
They're
I reckon
married.
You're right. And I just don't want to be stuck here all by my lonesome with my crazy family.
Dude, I'm on
you
edge. I am
going
on
crazy?
edge. I'm quite
Besides,
literally on edge.
You've always had good instincts. If you feel something's off, then, well,
Dude.
maybe you should tell her.
I don't know what's up, but I'm on edge, and I don't trust anything right now. I don't know why. I just don't trust anything right now.
See, come on, we got work to do.
Just something's gonna happen that I'm not going to expect, and I'm the present.
He had to go into town to get a few things that were lacking at home.
Oh,
This was
jeez.
a trip Big Macintosh avoided, if at all possible.
Which
His
is
first
honestly
time
fair.
Away from the security of the farm, felt like every pony was just watching him, waiting for him to fall apart. He couldn't take the
Waiting.
sad gazes, the touches, the words of sympathy. It was worse than shouldering the burden of his loss all on his own. Ponies he knew by name but never really spoke to came up to him as if they'd been friends forever. But that wasn't the worst of it. Pinkie Pie burst into tears every time she saw him.
Oh,
He never
wow.
thought he'd miss her nonsensical chatter, her bouncing, even her teeth-grindingly annoying habit of calling him Mackie.
Mackie.
The first few times she threw her forelegs around him and sobbed, he knew he'd taken Perky Pinky for granted.
Oh,
On the
wow.
rare occasion he saw Rarity, she all but ignored him. It was easy to blame him for what happened. He was aware of that.
Come on,
Big
Rarity.
Macintosh blamed himself every day. How could he want for Rarity to find somewhere else to place the guilt?
Oh,
He could
man.
wish she'd act more like Rainbow Dash. The Pegasus generally avoided the subject. She was melancholy like everyone else for a long time.
Yeah.
Now, however, she was on the same page as Applejack and was trying to get life back to some semblance of normalcy. If only it was so easy.
Wait a minute. Twilight?
There,
Pinkie Pie?
there
Rainbow Dash,
was
Applejack?
Twilight Sparkle.
Oh,
She
Twilight.
couldn't meet his eyes anymore. It was
Ooh.
like she hurt just as much as he did, and for almost all of the same reasons. Seeing her was the hardest part of his occasional trips into town. All they had to do was see one another across the way, lock eyes, and know what the other was feeling. It was like having his heart ripped out fresh every time. And the pain wasn't worth even the basic conversation, because it would never be easy for either of them.
This is a
He got
strong
what he needed
fic,
and headed
man.
home as fast
This
as
is
he could.
strong.
There was a rumble somewhere in the distance, like the thundering of his hooves was echoing,
What's
bouncing
happening?
back from the thick gray clouds above him.
Storm.
Good. Let it rain. Let it pour. Let lightning strike him and end this charade of a
Let
life
the
he
old
was
man
living.
snore.
Only in
I'm
death
sorry.
would he ever find peace.
Wait, song? No, they ain't doing a song.
I hurt myself
Oh, wow, they're doing a song.
today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain.
Again, I don't want to talk during this. I just don't want to.
That's real. A needle tears a hole. The old familiar sting. Try to kill it all away. But I remember everything. What have I become?
Oh, that was a smooth transition.
My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. And you could have it all.
Oh, man.
My empire of dirt. I will let you down.
This is a good song, though.
I will make you hurt.
That's gonna show up later in the fic. Oh, she was angry. Oh, no.
I will
She was angry. Oh, no. All the cause of the scene. Oh, no.
Full of
Oh.
thought
Okay, I gotta mentally prepare myself for that moment.
I cannot repair. Beneath the stains of time, the feelings disappear. You are someone else. I'm still right here.
Oh, this is smiling.
I'll become my
Oh.
sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. And you could have
So, what are you doing?
I will let
Oh no! Oh!
you hurt. If I could start again, I'm building
Oh.
my
I can't!
would
No!
keep myself. I would find a way.
Oh my
He
god!
somewhere beneath the bucking, the beating, the snorting, it reached him and cut through everything he was feeling to stop him dead in his tracks. It was
Wait,
crying.
what?
Soft, sweet, tender. He knew that cry like he knew his own heartbeat.
What's
Lightning
happening?
flashed, and he saw her standing down a ways.
Fluttershy
Her
back
coloring
from
was
the dead?
unmistakable. Her mane, her wings, her sad
Hallucination?
eyes. And he had made her cry.
Wait, but it's the...
Darling? What are you doing down here?
She didn't answer. Instead, she
Dude? Dude. Nothing... Okay. Time for a long talk here. Skip ahead if you... Just skip ahead. You know you want to, if you made it this far in the video. There are so many emotions going through my mind right now. First of all, is this his hallucination? Is this Fluttershy's ghost or something? Two, I've been on edge this whole entire time. And this is why right here. This is exactly why I was on edge, because I felt like something weird was going to happen. And three, I freaking said at the beginning of this thing, I wonder if they're gonna pull a twist, and maybe, Fluttershy's not actually dead. I'm gonna screech, dude. This is a very good fic.
She turned her back on him and ran away, echoes of her weeping trailing behind her.
Wait! Don't go!
His body surged forward, and he crashed through the underbrush, following her as
It's
best
gotta
he
be
could.
hallucination. No, there's no way. There's no way. Bro!
There was a distinct rumbling inside the library that made
Hey, it's Twilight.
Sparkle lift her head. She found a book on carnivorous caterpillars
That's a cute face.
and was learning so much. The distraction would have been annoying if it wasn't for the sheepish look on the face of her baby dragon.
What's happening, Spike?
I'm starving. We've been here all day and lunch only lasts so long.
I see.
Spike. Here.
My boy.
Her horn glowed and something rose from her saddlebags to float over to Spike's open and willing hands.
It's not sapphires and rubies, but hay oats and honey tastes pretty good to me.
Spike
Oh,
took it
yeah.
and shoved it into his mouth without reservation.
Eat it up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up.
Not fun with me. I wonder what's taking Fluttershy so long. You don't think she's forgotten about us, do you?
So she's not
You know
dead.
Fluttershy. She'd never forget us. Besides, you saw all those buzzards flying around when we got here this morning. I'm not surprised at how long it's taking her. She's a talented pony when it comes to animals, but she's still only one pony.
I guess so.
There's like such a mystery developing this thing. I don't.
Her book, though now that her concentration had been broken, it wasn't as easy to get into, and she could feel Spike's eyes on her.
What?
The baby dragon put his elbows on the table they shared, resting his chin in his claws.
I was
going on?
just thinking about what Big Macintosh said before we left.
What did he say?
Twilight's horn glowed again, and her book closed.
What did he
Someday,
say?
when you fall in love, Spike, you'll understand.
I
Oh.
don't know, Twilight. He seemed really worried.
Well, of course he was.
I'm really
This is
worried.
the first time he and Fluttershy have been apart for so long since they got married. And it's not like she
Whoa.
ran to Manhattan. Hoofington is quite the journey.
Spike still didn't seem convinced.
The man's got a fair.
Exactly newlyweds anymore.
Like I said, you'll
Man's got a fair
understand when you
concern.
fall in love.
She got up from the table, her book levitating in front of her as she moved through the racks of reading material. Big Macintosh certainly had seemed overly concerned when they'd gotten ready to leave. His bad feeling was something Twilight just chalked up to separation anxiety. She'd read all about it and different types
That's what
of
I'm
anxiety
feeling
could
right
manifest
now.
in so many various ways. Fluttershy would have stayed if Twilight hadn't convinced them both that it was silly to worry about anything. And she wouldn't be afraid to point out their foolish worries as soon as they were all back in Ponyville. The heavy door to the library opened, and
Heavy door.
Twilight smirked.
See, Spike? I bet that's her now, isn't it?
She
It's
found
not
where the
going
book
to
was
be, is
supposed
it?
to go and put it away, turning back down the long open aisle to greet her friend and get a full report on the day. What she saw shocked her into speechlessness for
Blood?
the quickest moment.
Princess Celestia.
What?
Every other pony in
Celestia?
Equestria bowed upon seeing the princess, but Twilight shared a special relationship with her mentor.
What you
and
doing here,
trotted back
princess?
through the library to be near her. The
got an
usual
assignment
warm
for me?
smile the princess wore was not present this time. and
Oh
it made Twilight
gosh,
draw
no.
a short. A knot wound itself in her stomach.
What's wrong?
My dear Twilight, I'm afraid my visit to Huffington is not a simple social call. Something terrible has happened, and I wanted to be the one to tell you.
Twilight swallowed a lump in her throat. As Spike joined her, he touched her side gently, letting her know
God.
he was right there.
This is so sad.
Suddenly, she wanted to just take him and leave, to not hear whatever it was that was weighing down Celestia's words. But she couldn't make her hooves move.
What's wrong?
There has been an accident.
She took a step back without meaning. Twilight moved closer to her, and she stopped.
An accident?
The mystery of the invasion of buzzards has been solved thanks to your friend Fluttershy. Several weeks ago, it was discovered that the wild cats at the Philadelphia Zoo escaped. Everyone assumed they were still there somewhere in the area. But the cats moved farther south where it was warmer, and they decided they very much liked the woods of Huffington.
What about Fluttershy?
The
Fluttershy.
man was much
Fluttershy
stronger
died,
than she
didn't?
felt.
No. Ah.
Twilight, I am so very sorry.
Okay, she did die.
They surprised her, and there was no time for her to react.
Ah.
The room
Okay,
spun,
she
and
did
all
die.
the colors blurred together before Twilight's eyes. Without the supporting touch of her best friend to ground her, she would have blacked out. As it was, her legs went out from under her, and she sank to the floor.
Oh
Filled
no.
her eyes, hot and stinging. Spike's arms went around her neck while she tried to wrap her brain
Hug
around
her
what
tight.
was
Hug her
happening.
forever,
Feral
please.
cats, buzzards, dead animals. Dead Fluttershy. The princess said her name and sparked an anger in the young unicorn that she would have never dreamed could exist. She looked at Celestia with animosity.
I found the
and
pain.
hurt.
You could have stopped it. You see everything. You could have stopped it.
Celestia's own eyes were damp as she dipped her head to nuzzle against Twilight's cheek.
My dear Twilight,
No.
Twilight was on her hooves, shoving away from Spike, from the princess.
Okay, but
Don't
why does
touch
Big
me.
Mike
You
Big
could
Mike
have stopped
blame
it. You
himself?
could have saved her.
Twilight!
Through his own grief, Spike stared at his friend in muted shock.
I knew what was happening, but not what was going to happen, Twilight. I was helpless to do anything.
Then what
She couldn't
good
have known.
are you?
Oh, that.
The anger
Oh,
fell from
jeez.
her, sorrow crushing everything else she could feel. She wanted to be angry at Celestia, to hate her.
I wish
but
I had
it
a
wasn't
face cam for
something
this.
she could do easily. Fluttershy, sweet, soft-spoken Fluttershy, no longer smiled at the birds, whispered to the bunnies, sang with the butterflies. She no longer even drew a breath. It made the
Oh,
world
gosh.
feel colder somehow, and lonelier. And when Celestia reached out to her again, Twilight let herself be
Hug her
in the
forever.
embrace of a strong foreleg and the protective cocoon of Celestia's wings.
I am so sorry.
The princess whispered, making room for Spike as well. Twilight wept, clinging to Spike and the princess. She was going to have to go home now, to tell Fluttershy's sweet Apple Acres family. She was going to have to look Big Macintosh in the eye and tell him his fears had been right. And
Oh.
nothing she could ever say or do would make up for her convincing them both the trip would be perfectly fine.
I mean, who could have known? Nobody could have known. Present day time. Yeah, present day time. Alright, let's get the rest of this. Let's understand.
It was easier for
What
her
exactly
to move
happened?
through the thick underbrush in the forest than it was for Big Macintosh. He lumbered through clumsily, just keeping her in sight. And then, just like that, she was gone. He stopped to look around.
Hallucination.
panic rising. She was still crying somewhere up ahead. And so he pushed on, breaking through to the more sparse part of the forest, just before it turned back into a field on one side and Ponyville on the other. She was crouched down at the edge of the stream, legs tucked under her, wings folded tight against
She's
her
so
small body.
sad.
Her turquoise
Oh, that's not
eyes were
Fluttershy.
locked on her own reflection, watching herself as the rain fell down around her. The ground had to have been cold underneath her, and Macintosh felt the need to scoop her up and protect her from the elements. She looked so much like Fluttershy that this past year had
She's
made
just
it
a
hard
filly.
to look at her for long. Let
She's
alone
a filly.
be a real father to her.
Oh!
That faded to orange and then red.
I was just about to say the father thing, but the fic beat me to it. Oh, and it's a father? No! Oh my god, that makes it even worse. No! Okay. I don't think it matters what am I trying to say? I don't think it matters the details of like what exactly happened that day. I can't. No, I just can't explain what I'm trying to say. I just can't do it. But oh my gosh, wow, they had a child, and oh no. Oh, that's gonna sink in.
And red
Oh.
in her ears and the tips of her wings, her pink mane and tail, with streaks of orange throughout, all matted and soaking. Even in the gloom of a storm, she still looked like a winter sunrise. Her
That is a
coloring
very
was what
good
prompted her
design,
parents
though.
to
That is a
name
very
her
good design.
Morning Glory. She must have known he was standing there watching her because her head lifted eventually, heavy-lidded eyes so full of sorrow. It made him move. The rain and the cold didn't matter as he got down on the ground beside his daughter, tucking his legs under himself as she had.
What are you doing out here, Glory?
And Applejack
Gloria.
was worried.
So she sent a little filly out into the storm?
She shook her head and sniffled.
You were worried.
I snuck out.
Oh.
You're more like your aunts than you'll ever know.
They were silent for a long time, and she wouldn't meet his eyes, either face to face or in their distorted stream water reflections. He saw her shiver.
I
and
can't
readjusted
speak,
himself
dude.
so he could drape a
Can't
strong
speak during
foreleg
this.
around her and pull her closer. This started the waterworks again. Not knowing what else to do, Big Macintosh lowered his head and laid it across her back, embracing and forming a sort of
Hug
affection
her
around
also
her
forever.
at the same time.
I miss her, Daddy.
Her
We
quiet
all do.
confession brought his own emotions on strong once more, and he answered her in a choked voice.
I know, darling. I miss her too.
I'm starting to forget what her voice sounded like.
Oh,
Twisted
no!
that wished he could forget the sound of her voice, or somehow give all his memories of Fluttershy
Oh,
singing,
my heart,
her
dude.
gentle laugh,
Oh,
to their daughter.
my heart.
Maybe it would make the pain less, or maybe it would just make the pain less meaningful.
I can't forget it. You sound a lot like her.
Glory lifted her head, searching her father's expression.
I do.
Yes, you
Especially
do.
when you sing. Both my girls always sounded like angels. You
Both?
start missing your mama. You just sing. That's all you need to do to remember her.
She bit her bottom lip,
Aww.
looking like she was weighing whether or not to say something else. At length, she seemed to make a decision, and the lips she'd been worrying began to quiver.
I miss you too, Daddy.
Oh.
Big Macintosh looked at her quizzically, his brow furrowed.
I'm right here, darling. I've always been.
I need a second. I need a second. Okay, I'm ready.
Right here.
No, you haven't. It's like you died with her. You never talk to me. You never play with me. You don't even really look at me anymore.
Oh.
It's like you're not even really here.
He opened his mouth to
You're
rebut,
just
and he
surviving.
found he couldn't really make an argument. Her words stung, but mostly because they were true. It was exactly as Applejack said to him that morning, that he hadn't been living, just surviving.
Just
That meant
surviving.
mustering up enough energy to get himself out of bed every day, to eat, to work, even simply to breathe sometimes. When it was all said and done, and the sun had set on another day, there just wasn't enough in him to give to anyone else. His sisters could take it, but ignoring his own daughter,
That,
how could he
oh,
have let
man.
that happen? And for so long.
It's
How could a father
time.
forget about his own child?
It's time
Sorrow can
to get
break
through this.
Even the strongest workhorse.
Fluttershy told him that when Granny Smith died, he'd felt so angry and at a loss
Granny
that it all
Smith.
came to a high-pressure breaking point, and he didn't know what to do with himself. Much like now, though, this sorrow was different. The gentle reminder from his beloved may have been whispered in his ear right then, for all he knew. The memory of her sweet voice still so strong. He could almost see her across the stream, watching them sadly.
You can't change the past, my love. It's
Can't.
you now and all the tomorrows that matter.
He blinked, pulled away from his thoughts. His imagined vision of Fluttershy faded away, and he fought the urge to chase it. He could still feel the little body in his grasp, and the warmth she gave him, small as it was,
Now that's a
It
goodbye
kept him.
forever.
grounded him.
I'm sorry.
He said at length. He managed to tear his gaze away from the opposite bank and nuzzle against his daughter's cheek.
I've been letting myself get so wrapped up in my own hurting that I forgot I'm not the only one who lost her.
That's
Can you
true.
forgive me for not being here with you?
Without
Hug
a
her,
word,
dude. Hug her.
Glory wiggled out from under his leg and threw her hooves around his strong neck,
Oh.
holding her as close as he could. He promised.
I swear, it'll be different from now on.
Oh.
We'll do this together.
Yes.
Daddy.
Love you too, sugar.
Oh.
Think it's time we headed back to the farm. I'll make us both some hot chocolate.
She let go of
Some
him
waffles,
and
baby.
smiled.
With mint?
With mint, just like your mama used to make.
He assured, kissing her forehead.
Climb on up.
Glory scampered around and climbed up onto Big Macintosh's back. She wrapped her hooves around his neck once more.
Yes.
Giggled.
Soon I'll be able to fly and you won't have to carry me like this. Scuttler said I'm doing real good and she expects me to take off any day.
Carry you like this now, but I will. And I want to. It's what I do.
'Cause you're my daddy?
Cause I'm your dad.
You got that right. Did I ever tell you about the day we told your Auntie Applejack we was gonna have you?
No.
She clutched
No.
him tighter in excitement.
Well, she and all her friends were at the cafe, talking about something.
He turned back for home,
Something.
feeling lighter than he had in a long time.
There you
There
go,
was still
man.
a lot of healing that needed to happen, and there would always be a piece of him missing.
There you go,
But
Mac.
now, he realized it was not only his journey to peace. Morning Glory needed him to show her everything was going to be all right.
There
They
you
could
go.
still be a family. He
There
was
you
determined
go.
to be the father she deserved, and the stallion Fluttershy always believed he was.
There you go. Mm. Mm. Oh yeah. Oh. It has been a while since I've just experienced like a pretty damn powerful fic. And this was a pretty damn powerful fic. I don't know why I was on edge pretty much the whole entire time. But I was on edge the whole entire time. I don't know, there's just some mystery to it that, I don't know, it was weird. But otherwise, that was really good. That was a really good fic. Where it hurts the most. Definitely one of the most sad fics I've seen in a while. I don't even know how to close this. That was just... It was powerful. It was damn powerful.